Hey guys, some of you guys have been asking for an updated Fiddlesticks guide, so I'm just going to make a quick video on this using a tier list maker. And these are basically just all the AP items you would probably consider buying on Fiddlesticks. I've made a category of just like a lot of items. These are like component items, so I didn't include them. Most of the boot options you're not going to go for on Fiddlesticks. And then also like the AP support items you wouldn't really want to build on Fiddlesticks because you can't like utilize their unique passives or anything. But anyways, first of all, I think the best item you can go on Fiddlesticks currently, even after its 20 AP nerf, is Leandries. Leandries just helps out your clear speed so much, and it gives you enough damage to start one-shotting people once you complete it. And that you might be like thinking, but like I go Malignance every game because I know that most Fiddle players go Malignance every game. And Malignance isn't a bad item, but I I think most people build Malignance and they don't even utilize its ultimate ability haste it gives you. So they're not really um, using the item to its full extent. Like I don't see people using the full value of Malignance when they buy it. So I think Malignance is more of just like an A tier item. It's definitely pretty good. You don't need to buy it. Like you honestly would be better off going Leandries every game, in my opinion. It's way more consistent to be able to clear fast, far more camps. Um, and then you'll probably have your ult come off cooldown as you're about to fight, rather than like Malignant, you have a slower clear, and then a lot of you guys your ult's just off cooldown, but then there's like you just don't even like use it until like it would have been off cooldown with Leandries. So I'll see a lot of people just not really utilizing Malignants too much. So put in A tier. Now we'll just go in order because these are just the most two popular items to see on Fiddlesticks. Also, you should always rush Sork Shoes. Um, so this is Sork Shoes. I'm also just going to put in a S tier because they're really broken. All right. Now we're going to Crypt Bloom. Crypt Bloom. I'm just putting it in B category. I mean, it's a good magic pen option if you're building MR and heals your team. Doesn't really give you the most carry potential because it's just less damage than Void Staff. And you want to carry, you want to do damage. So just put it in B tier because I mean it's okay. Storm Surge. It's gonna get nerfed soon, but it's a pretty good burst item. I'm gonna put it in A tier next to Malignants. I mean, it's just a good burst item. Ludens, you really don't get a lot of value out of it. It does help your burst out some, but I mean, it's just a lot worse than Malignants would ever be. So I put it in C tier. Abyssal Mass is the one tank item I kind of put in here. I feel like this items could be useful in a very niche scenario where your team's heavy AP. They have like melee characters with not a ton of crowd control, and you can get off like a lot of W's and sit on people. I mean, maybe could be really good, but that's a very niche scenario. I know some people really want to build this item, but I think it's just only has very niche scenarios it's good in. So put it in D tier because it's buildable, but very rare for you to have a situation where you should build it. Banshees is a very good defensive item. They did hard nerf the AP, so it doesn't help your burst out as much as it used to, but I'll put it in A tier. Next, we're going to have Cosmic Drive. Cosmic Drive, I mean, I'll just put it in B tier. I mean, it's an okay item. You're not showing if you build it, but I don't think, I think it's kind of expensive for giving you a low amount of ability power. So yeah, I'll just put it in B tier. Rocket Belt, I'll also put in B tier. They nerfed the AP on this item. Doesn't really give you that much burst. Does kind of make you tankier, but still not that good. Horizon Focus, we're going to put in C tier. Sometimes you can even land an ult and it doesn't proc it, so you hardly ever utilize the 15% increased damage. Also, it doesn't even proc off Fiddle's E for some reason, which is like his long range ability that's supposed to proc it, so kind of a bad item. Magi is obviously, it's situational. If you're fed and you feel like you can carry, you can go it. If not, then don't build Magi's. So I'm just putting B tier because, I mean, it really just depends on the game. Lichbane is going to go into C tier. You're not really going to be utilizing your autos from for the Sheen Frogs. Morello, we're going to put in B tier as well. I mean, obviously, just as situational items, they have a ton of healing. I would put two conditions on Morellos. They need to have a ton of healing and also be kind of tanky for it to be worthwhile to build Morellos, because some characters will have a lot of healing, but you're just gonna one shot them, so it's just not even worth. So like, I mean, let's say their like ADC has like Bloodthirster, but like no cleanse or no magic resist. So I wouldn't build Morellos against them because they're a squishy ADC. You're kind of just gonna one shot them. So yeah, Asher's also going to go into C tier because you're really not going to be autoing. Death Cap, I want to put it into B tier. Death Cap should only be like a 5th item choice. You're hardly ever going to build it. Riftmaker, I'll put into A tier because you actually utilize all of its stats. So it's not a bad item, but I personally don't really build it that much. But it could be a good item. Rod of Aegis, I mean, you do utilize pretty much everything from Rod, so I'll put it in B tier, but also personally, I never build it. And also, it kind of does delay you power spiking at your first item, because the item takes a while to stack and give you power, so not that good. Another B tier item we'll put is Rylai's. It does give you decent stats, but the slow can be a little bit redundant because sometimes the fear duration is all you need to kill people. C tier is going to be, we're going to put Seraphs in C tier. Fiddle has a hard time stacking a tier. You're delaying power if you buy a tier in the jungle. I really don't think you need to build this item. Now we get to Shadow Flame. Finally, another S tier item on Fiddlesticks. Shadow Flame. I like building it second after Landry's. Really good item. Really helps out your burst a lot. Shirelia's is the one support item I left in here because you actually kind of utilize all the stats of Shirelia's, but it is a support item. Not really going to give you a lot of AP and damage. So I'll put it in D tier because, I mean, maybe it'll be useful in a game or something. It's got a pretty useful active for all the movement speed, but it's still not that great of an item. Void Staff, we're going to put in A tier. Really good item to build if they're building any MR. Like as soon as they build MR, it's usually pretty good to build Void Staff and do damage. Finally, we're going to put Dark Steel in A tier as well. It's just a good purchase if you like go back and you don't have enough gold to like really buy anything, but you still want some more power. You can just buy a dark steel. I do that early sometimes. A tier, we're gonna do Zanya's. I think too many people build Zanya's every game. You don't need to build Zanya's every game, but it is definitely a good defensive item. So yeah, I considering that you only have about like 5, well 6 if you include the boot slots and Fiddle's build, you honestly can get away with most games just only building items that are in S and A tier. There's really no reason to dip down into B tier, except for maybe I could move a couple of these up. Well, I'll keep Medjai still in B tier because it's very situational. I'll move Death Cap up to A tier because it is a good 5th item. You just hardly ever get to 5 items. So yeah, I think Landry's and Shadow Flame, very good items with short shoes. This is a great 3 item, or well, 2 item and boots. Spike here, tons of damage, insane clear. Obviously, you can also go Malignance, Storm Surge, build any of these defensive items. Let's order it like this, and then Riftmaker is going to go. Riftmaker I would put at the end of A tier because you utilize all the stats. So it's pretty decent, but still not as good as these items. But yeah, Banshees can help block things like Carthisol or TF ult. Pretty good. Zonyas can stop you from getting bursted. Void Staff, really good if you want to do a ton of damage through their magic resist. Death Cap, just, final item for doing damage. That's pretty much it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and hopefully this has helped clarify for you guys what items are good to build on Fiddlesticks.